Hello everyone, this is Daryl20 and welcome to episode 105 of Daryl20's Let's Play series, where I have more ideas for ways to use mana. Not only can you use mana for duping items, but you can also transmute items with the alchemy catalyst. And there's a few useful ones. I don't know that I'm going to program all of them right now, but what I'm going to do is build the system such that I can auto-craft certain things that I want to have, so I can easily make them in the future, right? So if I decide at some point in the future, hey, I'd really like to have a regular way of turning blaze rods into nether wart, right? If I need nether wart, or if I need to get chorus fruit, right, in large quantities. You can also use it to like get string out of wool. You can turn zombie flesh into leather. There's like all kinds of good uses for it, and there might be a situation in the future where I need this relatively automated. Slime and cactus is a good equivalency like thing. So basically, I'd probably want to turn cactus into slime, right? Because like that would be the easier thing to set up. So here's what I'm going to set up today. I'm going to set up a little bit of alchemy catalyst automation, and I'm actually going to do two automations, one for alchemy catalyst and one for normal crafting. And similar to the system that I had before, we're going to toss down an interface here, and we're going to have a crafter or two. Okay, so you can get that, and then a crafter, pattern provider. And then a couple entangled blocks. And then a couple crafty crates, or open crates. That looks cool. Okay. So you're going to chill there, and you're going to chill there, and that looks pretty good to me. You guys are both going to get sparks, so you can start receiving mana. Boop and boop. Look at that. Mana a go-go. Beautiful. So now what I can do is I can bind. I'm going to set this dude up. I'm going to set you up, right? And then I'm going to shrink the Z-axis. Does that sound right? Yeah, that should be cool. Now, it technically does overlap this thing, but I'm going to filter it so that he can only pick up certain things. So let's start with the slime ball recipe, right? How am I for slime balls? Am I like, I'm okay, but obviously not great. So that'll be like the first thing that you're allowed to pick up, right? Whitelist mode, slime balls, done deal. Okay, how am I for cactus? Even worse. I should set up like a nice automated cactus approach, right? We could go phytogenic insulator and play with thermal a little bit. That could be fun. Could be a thing. Could be a thing we do. Yeah, maybe. So I should put cactus, like, because cactus is easier to automate than slime balls, right? So like we automate the cactus, get tons of it, and then we can auto craft slime balls with cactus. Seem kind of ish like a plan. Okay. So let's do that. So what I'll do is I will hook you up with some cabling. Boop. And I have to keep an eye on channels at this point, right? We're at 6. And then we're going to want this dude. And we're going to want this dude. And then we're going to want, I think I want my pattern providers to be in this mode. So I can do like this and this. And in theory, that should be cool. And that'll bump me up to 8 channels in use. Now we're full on channels, so, you know, being careful. But let's get our binder, and then you're going to be you, combined to that, and you combined to that. Okay. So now we can put pattern crafting in these things, right? I might also use this, because over here we've got this thing to craft with, right? So I can do this to do mana ingots and pearls and yada, yada, yada. Cool. Okay, I like that plan. This feels pretty good overall. Yeah, I like this. So let's go home and make some patterns, right? So if I said, hey, I would like to make slime balls out of cactus, I could do that, right? So it's just cactus turns into slime ball. Done. And then if I wanted to do like the mana recipes, right? We could do like mana powder. Let's do you with redstone, maybe. And then that's cool. Okay, mana steel ingot is iron. Mana pearl is ender pearl. And mana diamond is that. Oh, nope, wrong one. Cool. Okay. Are there any other mana infusion recipes I'd like to do? Not necessarily at this time. Could do the mana glass one if I decided I wanted to in the future. There's also like mana quartz, mana infused string. I don't remember using all those all that often, though I may at some point need them. And if I need to automate them, I totally will. Cool. And then in here you also see like the alchemy recipes too. So that should be sufficient. So now, right, we pop over to here. And you get all the mana recipes. And you get the pattern recipe. And speaking of the mana recipes, you need to whitelist those too. So that I can, and then I'm also going to make sure that you guys don't auto pick up this stuff. And I'm pretty sure my magnet won't be too fast for it. In fact, I'm going to not have you guys on there. And let's see if this plays out okay. So for example, if I wanted some mana diamonds times 10. Okay, no, that didn't work. I was kind of hoping that would work, and then it didn't. Now, in fairness, yeah, well, we'll see. All right, so mana diamonds times 10. Boom. That was pretty good. So then we should do iron and ender pearls should also be denied here, and probably also cactus. Which I already have in my inventory. Cool. It's feeling pretty good. Look at all this junk in my inventory I have to put away. My goodness. Classic Dyer. Messy. All right, so now if we got rid of all our slime balls and we put some cactus in there and we said we wanted one, boom, it would craft. Pretty instantly too, which is cool, right? I like that. All right. So now we have a way to both automate regular mana pool crafting and alchemy catalyst crafting. And also what we could do is if we needed more, we would need to have more channels available, right? So we'd have to get some more dense cable. Not a big deal though. But we could totally put a pattern provider on the top and on the side and on the bottom and on this side. So there's like way more pattern providering we can do on all sides of this thing if we needed to expand the recipes to more than just the few that we've got. And they would all work. Okay. The only thing I would need to do is have more collectors, but I think I could put collectors on the side of the interface and it would work as well. And then you can just adjust the sizing and whatnot so that it fits. But I think that would be cool, right? So that's cool. So let's turn this off and let's turn this off. I just want to make sure these range, mostly for the redstone, because I didn't want the redstone duping here to interfere with the redstone turning into mana dust here, right? Pretty cool, right? I like it. You are not a wand of the forest. You are. Cool. So you guys are still making just mana upon mana, right? And you're doing a great job. And it's all filling up the Fluix Mana Pearl. And you'll just sit there and casually, passively do it. Nice. All right, so now that we've got that going, should we look at thermal a little bit? Probably. The other thing I wanted to do, let's get into thermal a smidge, but I also want to check in on power, because I feel like power might be a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Not the end of the world, but clearly we are losing power, because this thing used to be full, and now it's empty. And that tells me that I'm not producing enough power. What's probably happening is we're burning through all our power at night, and that's not fun, right? That's not good. So we're burning through more power at night than we're producing during the day. So I'm probably going to get into mechanism fusion, because that seems like the next logical step for me. However, before I do that, I want to continue my thought here and get the cactus duping going on. So we could do phytogenic insulator for that. And we can get into a little bit of thermal expansion, because thermal expansion was added to the pack in the most recent version. So let's do that, shall we? So to get phytogenic insulators going, I'm going to need you to know how to make a few things. I need you to know how to make this, and I need you to know how to make this. And then I'm going to also need you to know how to make this. And I'm going to need you to know how to make lumium gears, which means you need to know how to make lumium. Luckily, lumium has a pretty straightforward recipe these days if you have fire charges. And that's probably the route I'm going to go, I would think. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, you could also do it with the processing way. Yeah, induction smelter might be a good way to go too for lumium. Then you don't need the fire charge, obviously. Let's take a look at thermal. Classic, awesome mod, right? We could grab an induction smelter maybe real quick. Maybe I should get an induction smelter going. And then we could do the induction smelter recipe for lumium. That might not be a terrible idea. I think that's probably the way we're going to go. How am I for pattern thingies over here? Not great. Not terrible. Okay, no, actually quite terrible. I'm really low. I'm going to need another one of those dangling things, right? But let's start with a induction smelter, right? So you need Invar gears, which apparently you know how to make Invar. So there must have been something in the pack making Invar at some point in the past. Cool. So Invar is complete. What was doing Invar before? I have no idea. But there we go. Induction smelter. Sweet. Generally speaking, we're also going to want to know how to make augments. So I should teach this thing how to make U, which you know how to make most of already, so that's cool. So tier 1 augment. And these will make your machines run faster. You're going to need to know how to make signalum gears, and for that you're going to need to know how to make signalum, which I'm also going to do in the induction smelter. Okay. And then finally, you're going to need to know how to make electrum. Do you know how to make electrum? You do not. All right, so then I should teach you electrum as well in this dude. Cool. And then ultimately, I want you to have resonant integral components. These are like the best, right? So for that, you're going to need this dude. You're going to need to know how to make Enderium, which requires knowing how to make diamond dust. Do we know how to make diamond dust? We do not. But we can make it in the crusher from Mechanism, so I'll use that existing crusher rather than making a whole new machine just for one recipe, right? Okay. And then finally for you, you're going to need to know how to make hardened glass, which will also be an induction smelter recipe. All right, so let's get this all put together so you guys can see some thermal. Now I've got room over here in my little automation-y area, so I will add this over in this area. So we'll throw down some universal cable, and then we'll get our induction smelter in, okay? And your side config on the top will be input and export with an auto output enabled, so that I can put a pattern provider up there, and that should be cool. Now, the other thing we're going to want to make sure with this pattern provider is we don't let recipes mix up with each other, because that's a very common thing when you're dealing with thermal. So make sure blocking mode, do not push crafting ingredient if inventory contains a pattern input. That's what we want, right? And then hopefully that'll prevent us from accidentally mixing and matching stuff. So if I put all that stuff in there, and then in my crusher, we add this dude, right? Now I should be able to get an augment. if I go put them where they belong. So, and probably between episodes today, I will expand my auto crafting so I have more auto crafting space. Cool. So now I should be able to get resonant, and I've got all the things I need for that. How cool is that? Nice. I prepped that pretty well. So now you can see the induction smelter is running. He's really slow initially, but tick accelerating helps. Nice. So now he's making all the things he needs to make. Good deal? All right. And that... Enderium ingot. Why you know Enderium ingoting? Oh, because I put Enderium ingot in the wrong place. Haha. Bad direwolf. There you go. Now the other kind of augment we're going to want is going to be the most useful of all these. There's a bunch of them that like modify how machines works, but I think it's this one. Increases process speed, but reduces RF efficiency. That's a big one. That's going to make things a lot cooler in the long run. And you need to know how to make lead gears, which is not a problem. But then you also need to know how to make electrum plates, which I'm going to do the multi-servo press for. And there's my resonant dude. Nice. Okay. Did I do that? I did now. Cool. So you two go over here. We're going to want another pattern provider. And then I'm going to want the multi-servo press, which hopefully I can control click most of my way to. Do you know how to make Constantin by chance? No. So that'll be you two for Constantin, goes in the induction smelter. Okay. And then Constantin gears go in my rapidly dwindling spot. And you're going to make the multi-servo press. Sweet. So now if you want this to go faster, you augment it. And now it goes way faster. How cool is that? Good deal? And then over here can be my multi-servo press. Okay, so that's going to be you. Might already have those things upstairs, but oh well. Okay. So now, do me a favor. Get me another augment. You're missing bronze ingots. I should maybe have something for bronze? No. So we have some kind of bronze ingots. You know how to make bronze ingots? You know how to make those bronze ingots. Okay, I see. Something along the way used bronze. What was it? Invar, ingot, glass, redstone, gold gear. What needed bronze? What indeed needed bronze? Gear brushing, maybe? I bet it's the gold gear. I bet that's it. What if we did gold? Can't you search for gold gear or whatever? I shouldn't need those anymore if I do this correctly. Because in theory, I can get a gold gear. Never mind, no, I can't. Okay, so you stay that way, but you stay and ready for that. You need to be made with that bronze now. Deal? Oops, wrong thing again. Okay, now can I make an augment? Looks like the answer is yes. And then my auto crafting down here should be way faster than it was before. Still not crazy fast, but we'll get there. And now for pattern provider. You're going to go there. Your side config will once again be in and out on the top with auto output to the top. And then I should be able to make more of these. Sweet. Okay, that looks cool. And how's my channels here? 7 out of 8, so we're doing good. Man, I like having that prepped ahead of time thing going. Isn't that cool? Right, and then you're making that, which is a little bit slow, in fairness. But we can augment our way into it being faster. Right? And now you're making flux linkage amplifiers, which are cool, because if we put them in here, they're going to be even faster. And then these guys are even faster. Cool. Now I should be able to make my phytogenic insulator. Okay. And then maybe this lives intelligently. So I want another one of you, and then my other augments. I need 3 of them in total, so I'll just let that happen. But look how much faster this is now. Beautiful. Okay, so phytogenic insulator. I could keep this room, right, and we could have it go out here with some cables, and that could be kind of cool. I have to decide how I want that to work. But effectively, yes. You can go away for a minute, you two. You go there. So this could be my phytogenic insulator room. Okay, what I'll do is I will get my basic universal cables here. I need more than the 4 I have, so might as well get to work. Are you broken on steel? You are broken on steel. I need to fix my steel pattern. Ah. All right. So steel got changed, right? Steel ingot from steel dust. That steel ingot. Can this steel dust from mechanism still be smelted into, yeah, this kind of steel ingot now? Okay. Now the question being, will you behave? No, because you're missing mechanism steel ingots and you're expecting to have them. So the good news is now that it knows it doesn't know how to make mechanism steel ingots, it won't try. So then what we need to do is just find anything that was using steel ingots before and update the recipe. So that'll probably all be the basics, but there'll be a few more probably as well. Like the machines. They use steel, don't they? Well, we'll just encounter them when we encounter them, right? So then I just do this and update the recipe. This. And update the recipe. This. Cool. Now I have to go find a whole bunch of little holes to fill this into. They may have been in the wrong place. Sorry. For those of you that noticed, I apologize. And are you working now? You're making the steel dust from mechanism? Is steel dust no longer a thing? It may not be. So what we're going to want to do is fix that pattern. It will likely be this. So if we check what enriched iron can become, it will be steel blend. But we don't need that carbon, remember? Okay. And then you should probably be from steel blend, right? Okay, now cables are cool. Hooray! Look at it go. And look, my redstone's staying right at 2,000. How cool is that? I love that. All right, now I would like cactus to run, okay? So what we could have is the following. What if we had a functional storage drawer that sits on top? Okay, I've done something like this before. And what we're going to want to have is we need to have you on the top. I want you to both pull and push. So automatically pull from the top to fill this slot, and automatically push outputs to the top. So that if I set this up with an initial cactus and put it in there, he should pull those 15 cactus in. Okay. And then, did I ask for a new augment? I did. So you're going to want those 3, and then those 3. And then you need water, which I'm going to fill into the back. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get myself a sink with some water. Okay, and then we can do a pipe. And on the back, you will be input. And then configurator. Filling that up with water, and now he's duping cactus, basically. Okay, so what'll happen is he'll turn 1 cactus into 2 cactus, push it into the drawer, pop it back out. Okay, if we speed that up, over time, we will get more and more cactus happening. Cool. That's neat. And then for a building gadget, I could use you. Cool. Okay. And then what we could have from functional storage is a storage controller. And I should probably do something similar with sugarcane maybe, and maybe 1 or 2 other plants. So then what we're going to have is linking tool. I want to link you to you, and that should be good. Okay. Link to drawer to controller. And I want you locked to cactus. Cool. And then when it does, and now we're at that number. And that's doing pretty good. Not crazy fast, but really not bad. The only other thing I might want to do is like make this not so deep into the room. So maybe what I'll do is move this guy. So let's see, your memory card. Where are you, memory card? Why can't I ever find things in my inventory? Look, YouTuber blindness, it's a thing. It exists. There you are. Okay, so you are 3A78 is your frequency. So who's that? That would be you. 3A78. Cool. So copy that, which means I can then disconnect you guys. Okay. We will put this here. We'll load them back up. 3A78 output side. Then your denseness can go here. And then you can have more cables. And we're going to want a storage bus. Okay. You're going to move over to here and then go straight up. Now you're all online. And then you're going to go over to here and storage bus this guy with a high priority, such that we should see the cactus in there once there's some cactus to see. So once this breaks past 64, then we should start seeing cactus building up in the drawer, and that's when we'll see the cactus being available to me. Hooray, one cactus. Woot. See? Haha. Cool. All right. So a little thermal today, a little Botania today. Let's wrap up here. Come back next time. Gonna need more power. That much I know. Because, yeah, we're not great, not terrible. So we're gonna go over to our reactor area and see what's cooking. I assume something's cooking. Yeah, you got a little antimatter going on here. A little bit. A little bit. Everybody's, like, creating power, though? No problem? Yeah? That whole automation of, like, having uranium all the time seems to be working really well, right? Really does. Really does seem to be working pretty good. I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to move my digital miner, but, like, really far in the future. Really, really far into the future is when that's going to have to happen. All right. For now, Delta20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time and get ready to do some fusion from Mechanism. Sound like a plan? For now, Delta20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.